Yeah, I saw it came up on my YouTube. I'm still watching. Am I looking on our CCC for Instagram? Okay.
Yes. Okay, we're good on Twitch. So it's coming through. Let's get started. Good evening, everybody, panel, and the viewers out there. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Camille. I'm joined by my family here, Lisa, Oliver, and Mark. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about love in 2021 and what it's like for Caribbean Canadians who are looking for long-term relationships and or a marriage. So we're just having this really casual, informal conversation just to open a dialogue in our community. We invite our viewers to participate in the comments, participate in the conversation tonight. And we're going to keep it going leading up to an event that we're having on July 12th at 8 p.m. in the evening, Eastern Time. It's called Caribbean Canadian LoveSpace. It's a virtual speed dating event. And what we're doing is you can register in advance on Eventbrite. It's called Caribbean Canadian LoveSpace Virtual Speed Dating. You register in advance. We're looking for Caribbean Canadian professionals who are looking for a long-term relationship, heterosexual, monogamous relationship. And the ages we're calling for now, in other words, like the age group that you're interested in as far as a partner. We're looking for 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 55. So again, we're not talking about your age. We're talking about the age that you want your significant other to be. Those are the ranges that we're going to be accommodating on July 12th. It'll be a private event only for those who are registered. And right now we have a waiting list, a priority waiting list. It's free to get your name on the waiting list. Once we have an equal number of women and men who register, then they'll be sent the ticket information, which will be between $20 and $30. It will be a video private conference. The participants will break out into rooms and get to know each other 5 to 7 minutes. After that time, they are placed into another virtual space to meet the next person, and they continue down the line until they've met everybody. At the end, they come back to the main virtual space with the host, and they privately tell the host who they would like to get to know offline. And if there is a mutual interest, then we will exchange their contact information, and then it's up to those lovely people to continue the conversation afterwards and see if there's a connection there. So like I said, this is something that we started, a series of conversations that we started a week or so ago or 2 weeks ago, just to kind of open up the dialogue and lead up to this event. So the conversation so far, we've talked about different things. We've talked about the do's and don'ts when you're entering a new relationship or you've been in a relationship for a while. The do's and don'ts really don't change that much. We talked about how perhaps there may be a lack of patience with singles nowadays in terms of putting in the time and effort to find somebody who's compatible, or when they do find somebody compatible, putting in the work to maintain or sustain. And then we talked about social media and the impact of social media on the dating scene. We also talked about the male's perspective and the female's perspective when they're meeting someone new. What are we talking about tonight, lady and gentlemen? What are we talking about tonight? How do we want to open up this conversation this evening?
I would say how to get more men to sign up.
Okay. Yes. So let's talk about that, because we want to address any sort of obstacles, barriers, concerns, challenges that Caribbean Canadian single men are facing when it comes to finding a connection, when it comes to finding a long-term relationship. So let's talk. Let's put it to the men. And thank you for stepping up to the chopping block and carrying Mark with you. Oliver, as men representing. What do you think some of the challenges are for Caribbean
Um,
Canadian single men in 2021?
you know what? The more I think about it, and we spent quite a few, probably a good 15 minutes last time just trying to figure out what could be the barriers, and I know you said maybe they're waiting because it's a couple weeks away, then maybe they're waiting. I'm not sure if that's the case. I think, right off the bat, I'm thinking this virtual space is new to our culture. When I said new, I mean they're not comfortable in a virtual space. Because I know we talked about a little bit about that last time, but we didn't spend too much about that. What do you think, Mark, in terms of our culture comfortable in a virtual space when it comes to dating?
First, I think the single men are too busy gaming right now, so they don't have time. They're not
Single
gonna.
man giving what? I didn't hear that.
They're playing video games, man.
Okay, got it.
Nobody's getting ready for a woman right now. The woman is the controls and the TV.
So you're talking about the older men too playing video games? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because I play video games.
I'm just making a joke. I don't know, man. I'm not sure, and I do agree. This is fairly new. I mean, online dating has been around for quite some time, but how many of us actually tried it before and kind of gotten into it and actually signed up and saw what it was all about, right? So doing something like the event that we're looking at, it may be something that's new, something a little bit that people are a little bit apprehensive about. It seems like women are open to their game, they want to try, and they're open to putting themselves out there, but men are usually closed, right? So I would say that, I'm talking from my own perspective, not really want to put myself out there all the time, or even at the best of times, and open up. So for me to go out there and go out on a limb and now sign up for speed dating, I don't know who's going to be in that room. I don't know who's going to see me. I don't know. That's kind of my thought.
Well, there you go. Right? You already, some men might have that mentality, and I know Camille said this before in terms of what was it, ego? They're afraid to get rejected, or and I know women, they're willing to take that chance. Probably men, because we're full of egos, right? So we get our ego hurt, then it might mess up our confidence, right? So I'm not even sure if that could be one aspect, but I'm pretty sure Camille is gonna put in a way that they don't have to worry about the ego, because I guess there will be no real rejection, right, Camille? The way the speed dating is gonna be set up, there's not gonna be real rejection. You're gonna be having a candid conversation with multiple partners, and then after a while you kind of let us know who you'd be interested in learning more about. So I would say squash that ego
Yeah,
when it comes to.
and maybe we can just ask questions to you, Camille. So is this going to be broadcast live? Is the speed dating
Lisa's
going to be
also here,
broadcast?
just so you know. Just so you know,
Yes.
Lisa's also here.
Sure.
We're
We'll
team
extend it to.
ladies.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
No, it's not a live broadcast. We're not live streaming the July 12th event, right? So as I said when we started here, it's a private event. Only those who registered and the event host will be the ones who are permitted into that space, right? And of course, we're cross-checking, right? So people who log in, we're checking to make sure they registered in advance. Like there's no surprises as far as who to expect on July 12th. You're also given little short bios about each person in advance, right? So once you've purchased your ticket, again, it's between $20 and $30. You'll short bios of all the different people, right? So they'll help you start a conversation with them because you only have 5 to 7 minutes, right? So you have to be able to maximize those 5 to 7 minutes as opposed to just blank stares, right? And uncomfortable giggles. You want to be actually getting to know this person. So that's what we're giving you a bio in advance. Yeah. So the other thing too is I can't say for sure. I don't know for a fact, but I feel like it's true. I don't think there's ever been another Caribbean Canadian speed dating event before. Yes, speed dating has been around, but specifically Caribbean Canadians, I don't think so. So whatever you've seen or whatever they told you before has nothing to do with this event. It's a totally different event catering to the experiences of Caribbean Canadians, right? Whereas perhaps that's the other thing. Maybe they've tried speaking in the past and it didn't work out. They didn't like it. But I promise you it was not a Caribbean Canadian speed dating event. And sometimes there's blocks just not having it from coming to you in a cultural perspective, right? Being planned in a cultural way so that you feel comfortable. Because that's the other barrier, I think, not just for men, but for women too. Is the other person not understanding them or the host, putting it in a way that's not familiar or comfortable, to the person. So, all right. What other barriers do you think for men?
I want to hear Lisa take. What do you think? Before Lisa, you go. While you're talking, Camille, and I know you're touching on it a little bit, it could be something new. And when it comes to certain culture, anything new, they'll take a step back and watch and see to see what's happening. So this whole idea, not the speed dating, not the online speed dating itself, but because it's all Caribbean, right? So, and I'm glad you put that out there. I don't think that's been done before. And for those who are watching, actually watching in the audience, let us know. Let us know what could be the obstacle for men because we need more men to sign up. We're looking for more men to sign up. So, Lisa, let me hear your thoughts.
I would say I think it's an ego thing as well. They don't want to be vulnerable. Some probably don't feel that they don't need anyone to hook them up with somebody. They want to go out there and work themselves. Like they don't want to be part of no speed dating.
Well, can they do that now? I mean, this is 2021. We're in the middle of a pandemic. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. What are you going to do? What's the alternative?
Yeah, right.
You
And if
know?
that's the case, this is 2021. Well, I would say 2022, where things are getting a little bit easier now. So if people can do some of your work for you, some of the groundwork for you, why do it yourself? You can focus on use that energy to do something else. So I mean, that could be the case, but I think that's squashed. Next. Let's squash that. That's next.
Are men seeing the advertisement?
Okay,
That's a
Single
good
men.
question too.
that's a good question. So, can we ask our viewers to share this information, not just with singles, because somebody in your circle, whether they're married or not, knows a single, right? So it's not like I don't know any single men, so I'm not going to share it. Somebody connected to you knows a Caribbean Canadian single man. So just share it, regardless of their marital or relationship status. Share it to Caribbean Canadians, and not even just Caribbean Canadians, because somebody who's not Caribbean Canadian knows somebody who's Caribbean Canadian. This is Canada, right?
Correct.
Where we have friends of all different cultures and backgrounds. So just share it, please. It's on Eventbrite. It's called Caribbean Canadian LoveSpace. If you type that in the search bar on Eventbrite, Caribbean Canadian LoveSpace. It's on July 12th. It's also on our website, OURCHM.ca. OURCHM.ca. Yeah, so I guess it's really about the men taking a chance, coming open, coming positive. Forget what you heard. Whatever you heard had nothing to do with this event. Right? And if you really want it, you have to be ready, right? Maybe they're just not ready. Some of them are not ready. I mean, they're saying they want it, but they're really not ready. In other words, if you're ready, you will do what it takes, right? To find your match, to find a connection, to find a long term,
Exactly.
period, whatever it is.
And if you're not ready,
Whatever
get
it is.
ready.
Yeah. No time like the present. That's all we have.
Yes.
You don't know what the future holds. You don't know what happens tomorrow, what happens July 12, July 13. Just go for it. Right now, it doesn't cost a thing to register your name on the waiting list on Eventbrite. It's a free thing to just put your name on the waiting list. When we have enough people to continue with the event, then you'll be sent information about how to purchase your ticket. Like I said, which is between $20 and $30 maximum. Right? So it doesn't cost a thing to put your name on there. But you have a lot to potentially gain, right? From just putting your information on a web form, which little to no effort. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to spend money. You don't have to leave your house to register your name, right? So we're doing our for our community. Anybody want to talk about how this came about, why we're doing this? Because this is an event being hosted by a not-for-profit corporation called Caribbean Canadian Chamber of Commerce and Community. Now, if anybody knows what a chamber is, you'll know that they don't normally host love events or speed dating events. That's not typically what chambers do or boards of trade. Anybody want to share how this came about?
Go ahead, Mark. You want to take a stab at it?
Well, basically, it was conversation. I think it just came up around, our organization. We wanted to better the community, help to bring people together. We also wanted to bring some awareness to our organization. So we are out there sharing this information, trying to build that love connection between members of our community to help build a stronger community overall. So like I said, it was conversation that we had, and we know quite a few single ladies in our group, and we basically thought, hey, why not? Why wouldn't we put something like this together where we can start to potentially match, some single Caribbean ladies with single Caribbean men, and not just single ladies in our group. There's single men as well. So I shouldn't just call out the ladies.
Yeah, that's correct. And we decided that we're going to put on this event to fulfill that gap that we see. We're all here for our community. Simple as that. So this is the reason why it's C5, Caribbean Canadian Chamber of Commerce and Community, right? So we're really looking out for our community. And one of the things that we've noticed by meeting us, we'll be meeting up with the community for over a year now. I realized that there's a gap there in terms of the singles, right? So we say, you know what? Why not put on this event to cater to our singles? And that's how this came about.
Yeah.
And I would like to hear from, I think, Alethea. I see you watching. Let me hear your comments. You're watching on
Yes.
Facebook. Let me hear your comment about what your thoughts are. Um, if you sign up or whatever the case is, and how we can get more men on.
She can also share. Thank you for tuning in, viewers. Thank you for watching. But we also want to hear as well, what are the challenges that Caribbean Canadian women have looking for love in 2021, right? That's the conversation for men and women. Participate in the comments. What are some of the challenges you're experiencing when in the dating scene in 2021? I want to read something because we've said it a lot, the term Caribbean Canadian. And, we, the four of us, know what that means. But largely, most people don't, because it's a relatively new term that we started championing about 6 years ago, the term Caribbean Canadian. So I just want to be clear. This event that we're having, for not just the event, but the organization, the Caribbean Canadian Chamber of Commerce and Community. When we say Caribbean Canadian, what we're talking about are people of representing 43 different Caribbean nations. I'm actually going to read all 43 right now because people think of the common Caribbean countries and they don't realize there are actually 43 countries. So when we're having a speed dating event, like the one we're having on July 12th, this is who we're inviting to register. We're looking for men descending from or born in these countries and living in Canada now. Aruba, Antigua, Anguilla, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Bermuda, Bonaire, British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Curacao, Dominica, Dominican Republic, French Guiana, Grenada, Guadeloupe, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, Jamaica, Martinique, Mexico, Montserrat, Nicaragua, Panama, Puerto Rico, Saba, Saint Martin, Saint Bartholomew, Saint Eustatius, Saint Kitts and Nevis, Saint Lucia, Saint Martin, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, Turks and Caicos, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Venezuela. Those are the 43 Caribbean countries that this organization represents and serves. And by extension, this is who we're inviting to register for July 12th. So it's very likely that those who register, you're going to be in a virtual space with people of Caribbean descent that perhaps you had no knowledge of before. Perhaps you didn't know about some of those countries I just listed off. So we want to make sure we're taking a holistic approach to how we serve our community. We come with an inclusive approach as well. So by the way, I just listed off 43 of the Caribbean countries that we want to see represented on July 12th speed dating. Now I'm going to talk about the ethnicities. Because in the Caribbean, go ahead, Mark.
I was just saying, before you go there, you don't have to be born in those countries, right?
No, I was saying either you're born there and living in Canada, or you're descending from those countries, meaning your family is from there, right? And maybe you were perhaps born in Canada or somewhere else, but you do have to be residing in Canada right now as we speak. So the different ethnicities, because the Caribbean is not just one ethnic group of people. And if you're Caribbean, if you know, then you know, you already know. But for those who don't know, I'm just going to spell it out. We're talking about Indo-Caribbean Canadians, Asian Caribbean Canadians, Afro-Caribbean Canadians, Spanish Caribbean Canadians, European Caribbean Canadians, Amerindian Caribbean Canadians, or some sort of combination between any of those ones that I just listed, because that is a fact as well, that we're very, very mixed up, right? And, a lot of beautiful people as a result of all of this intermingling. So that's what we want to see on July 12th, right? And by the way, we're also looking for members too. If you're interested in joining the actual chamber, of course, you're welcome. If you're representing any of those 43 countries or any of those Caribbean ethnicities, of course, we want you to be a part of this movement that we've started. So do we have any comments as far as the challenges?
I'm watching Facebook and there's no comment.
Okay.
I don't think it reached Instagram. So we have to check that. Any comments there on who's watching YouTube? So nothing on Facebook so far.
Okay. That's okay. Even if you're watching it after the fact, we encourage you to put your comments in because we're always, this is a continuous conversation we're having leading up to this event on July 12th. And we really do want to hear. I mean, it's just the four of us. We're coming with our own perspectives. Of course, there are hundreds of thousands of other perspectives. So we by no means are trying to represent every Caribbean Canadian woman and every Caribbean Canadian man when we're talking here. We're just talking from our own perspectives, right? And our own experiences, just to open up a dialogue in our community. All right, so we're going to wrap it up soon. We're almost at 30 minutes. I think it's a good time to wrap up in 5 minutes or so. What do we want to say to people who are on the fence? One last call, one last appeal to the people who are on the fence. They're aware of this event and they're not sure. They're looking for love. They're aware of this event. They're just nervous or anxious about registering their name. What are the last? I'm going to ask each one of you to just add a little 1 minute piece of advice to those people.
Take a leap of faith and jump off the fence. Win-win situation. Half the battle is already done for you. We're doing all the work for you. We have the space. We have the people coming in, right? That can potentially be your match. So why not take that jump? And at this point, it shouldn't be an offense. But if you are, jump and take that leap of faith. It's a calculated decision that you'll be happy with.
Yes.
So it's a win-win situation.
Nice, Oliver. Who wants to go next? Just a little piece of advice or words of encouragement.
Really quickly, what do you have to lose?
A chance. You have nothing to lose.
Yes,
Yeah.
they both. Yeah.
Lisa and I are aligned. What
Yes.
do you have to lose? Just it's going to be an hour, right? An hour or two of your time, one night. You may meet your significant other. The worst case scenario, meet some new friends, right? I don't see any negative side to this.
Yes, Lisa, was that it? Sorry, I think there was a delay there that both of you were talking at the same time, but did you get to say? Maybe they didn't hear you if you want to repeat what you said.
Oh, I was saying no harm in trying. Just take that chance. What do you have to lose?
Yes.
If you don't
Awesome.
try, how will you know?
How will you know? A lot of times we talk ourselves out of things, right?
Yeah.
You're speculating, you're mulling it over in your own mind. You're having dialogue with yourself in your own mind, and you're talking yourself out of, blessings.
Yeah. What does Mark usually say? You miss. What is that, Mark? You miss 100% of the shot you don't take.
That's right. That's right. If you don't shoot, you can't score, right? So if you're not, you don't even make it to the ball. If you don't even make it to the field, how are you gonna win? You didn't show up.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So I would say for those who are watching on the replay, share this to us, in your network to as many people as possible, and comment. Let us hear your thoughts, your feedback, and you heard the conversation. Comment and let us hear your side and see how we can make this an amazing event.
Yes, and some amazing connections. And such a closing the gaps in our community, right? One at a time, one event at a time, one initiative at a time, one step at a time. So thank you to the viewers who tuned in. Like I said, we're doing this regularly leading up to this July 12th event. And for those who are just tuning in now, we're actually going to wrap up, but just to bring you up to speed, we've been having these very casual, informal conversations about love and relationships and what it's like for people of Caribbean descent or Caribbean Canadians or Caribbeans living in Canada. And we're inviting the viewers to participate in the conversation. We want to open up a dialogue in our community, not just on these platforms, in our community. So perhaps after you've watched this, maybe call a friend or talk to family members about what you just watched, right? Behind closed doors, you're having conversations with the people that you trust. And just have open, because that's the only way things get better. It's the only way that we move forward, right? Is through communication. That is key. So let's keep the dialogue going. Let's help our community thrive and be healthy and be close-knit and, prosper moving forward. July 12th is our speed dating event. It's called Caribbean Canadian LoveSpace. It's on Eventbrite. You can register for free on the waiting list. And we also have, if you can't find it on Eventbrite or you don't have access, it's on our website, OURCHM.ca. All the information about the event is there. And just like what Oliver said, please share it. Share the videos, but also share it by word of mouth. Just tell people that there's an event happening, right? So whether you know a single person or not, just let the people in your circle know that there's an event happening. And those Caribbean Canadians who are single and they're looking for a relationship, they will catch the signal. Whether it comes directly to them or not, they will catch the signal, pick up on the energy, and they will find this event. 100%. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're following us so that you get the notification the next time we go live. We're on Twitter, OURCCC_. We're on LinkedIn, OURCCC. We're on Instagram, OURCCC. We're on Facebook, OURCHM. And we're now newly on Twitch TV. So we have our new channel now. We're really excited about it. This is actually our first live stream on Twitch TV. The name there is The CC Movement. And if you want to know more about that, brace yourself. If you want to know more about the Caribbean Canadian movement, we'll be talking about that in future episodes. But for now, we're going to call it a night. Have a great evening. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back next time.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.